Good morning, Nigeria. It's time now for Trending Now on the TVC Breakfast Show, where we have our finger on the pulse and our eyes on the street. And we bring you trending stories from Nigeria and across the globe in order to have some decent and hopefully interesting dialogue about these stories. In our first story, unfortunately, another day, another story about the Nigerian police force. A video circulating online has exposed the appalling police conduct along the Benin bypass in Edo State. In the clip recorded by a commuter, a police officer is seen asking passengers in a commercial vehicle to either pay 5,000 naira or provide 5 liters of petrol, reportedly over the Electronic Central Motor Registry ECMR certificate. Now, this comes despite a nationwide suspension of ECMR enforcement announced by the Inspector General of Police in July 2024. Take a look at this exchange.
Yes, what's the issue, sir?
CMR.
CMR is illegal.
Is there?
It's illegal.
You can make one.
I'm not making any call. What do you want us to do so we can leave here? Because we're going far. I don't have time to... Sorry?
5 liters of fuel.
What's 5 liters of fuel? What is that? There's no police station here.
We'll go and buy it.
So what does it translate to?
Don't do it now.
How much is 5 liters of fuel? That's what I'm asking you.
5K.
So you want 5K from, you want 5K from each of the cars here?
Like, you know yours. Maybe
They will not do anything.
I'll be this.
You want 5K from each of us, Abi?
Okay, go and give out 3 liters.
We are together.
While some passengers complied with the policeman, others pleaded for leniency, and once again, we are unfortunately forced to have conversations about accountability and the need for continued police reform. This is very unfortunate, but if you ask me, that was a flexible payment plan. So how magnanimous and benevolent of him to give him those two options, 5,000 naira or 5 liters of fuel. Let's take a look at social media. At Superintendent Bright Edafe says, he's also a policeman, he says, all these policemen bringing shame to us, one by one, they will be sent out of the organization. Maybe when they become jobless, they will go into content creation. This is embarrassing and the force is on it. We'll take another tweet. At East Orange says, if these guys are well paid, none of this would be happening. Very interesting. Lately, we've been seeing a lot of clashes between Edo youth and the police. And if we can learn anything from history, as we saw in the NSAS protests, the best time to intervene in these clashes that are becoming viral every day would be now. We must learn from history. Moving on in our next story. A local vigilante group is back in the spotlight following disturbing claims of illegal detentions in Anambra State. In a video that was shared by activist Harrison Gwamnishu, members of the Udogachi security outfit are accused of operating an extrajudicial detention facility known as Lion Base Agwoka. Now, according to Harrison Gwamnishu, suspects are allegedly being arrested and held without due process, and some are reportedly being locked up for months without trial and not handed over to the police as they should be. Now, in response, the Anambra State Police Command took to Facebook to claim the footage was old, but Gwamnishu is insisting that these videos were taken just days ago, and he has shown proof of that. If these claims are verified, these allegations raise serious concerns about oversight, abuse of power, and the growing role of non-state actors in law enforcement. We've said this time and time again here on this segment. The reason for these vigilante groups are a gap in policing. The community, there was a gap in policing, and so these vigilante groups stepped in. But if they are not following due process and doing the right thing, are they any better than the police that they claim to be displacing? Let's take a look at social media. This is unacceptable. And it's important that we shine a light on stories like this. At Ayamogbeche says, Nigeria is finished. Back then, we had youth leaders that will mobilize youths and bring down that place in less than no time. But these days, I don't know if we still have any. At least we can have dialogue about it. At Obina says, the same thing happens in Imo State with Ebube Agu, and they're using the cover of the police via Tiger Base. They collect money to lock up innocent people indefinitely. Now, team, I don't know if you agree with me, but the only people that should be able to decide who stays in jail indefinitely is the courts. How can we curb this sort of thing in society? It's unacceptable. But there is a gap in policing, hence the rise of these vigilante groups.
Yeah, I agree. There's a gap in policing. That's why they came up. And the general insecurity in the country, too, is part of the reason why people are saying, look, form a vigilante group and protect yourself and all that. We have a police deficit in Nigeria. We don't have enough policemen. We are so badly policed. When you look at the United Nations parameters for policing, Nigeria is very far behind. And I want to blame or talk about the Anambra State Police commander went straight to Facebook and started saying, no, it doesn't exist and all that. But first of all, you would have shown us that you visited the place and made sure that, yes, that place doesn't exist before you go on social media and say what you said. And the police gentleman in the Benin bypass, I guess the full weight of the law will fall on him.
Absolutely. I'll begin with that story. Let the full weight of the law fall on the police officer. He's one of those who is giving the police that image that they are not supposed to have or bear as it is. So if they can continue weeding out such persons out of their midst, it will be good. And talking about what's going on in Anambra with regards to vigilante groups, I think there has to be some level of investigations done to get to the root of the matter, and then the government can step in when necessary to addressing the issues. It will be wrong to see that these persons are arresting people without having the rights to do so. Sam?
Well, these stories are becoming routine. I mean, policemen are becoming very creative people. They are helping us look at in social media. They're making life very interesting for us on social media by what they are doing. I mean, it's trying to look for new ways to make money. And the reference to the issue of what they call it, NSAS. This is how it is seeded, and from there it goes on. In the case of the Southeast, the legal vigilante, it is a spin-off of an environment where a bigger sort of insecurity has already started pervading with ESN and IPOB. So everybody will now start creating his own little kingdoms, because impunity only breeds impunity.
That's
true.
Especially when people were calling for IPOB to, simmer down what exactly they're doing, and then the government should clamp down on them. It was like, no, they belong to us, they're fighting our cause and all of that. Now, they've created that breeding ground for others to think of, ways to generate funds for themselves and to their own stomachs. This policeman, I'm not sure whether the person recording him wore a body cam or had a camera, held in his hand, and that he didn't even notice that it was being recorded. That's supposed to be a security man. He did not even know the person he was dealing with.
Could be eyeglasses.
So it could also be eyeglasses. So it's not even intelligent to start with. And the fact that there had been calls, corrections, warnings and all of that, that you should not ask for bribes. You should not think of ever asking for bribes. This man, certainly I believe that he's lost his job. The advice by Bright Edafe that, he should go for content. No, I think he should put behind bars, and then it should be punished.
Thank you so much. I think what's particularly interesting about this incident on the Benin bypass road is the fact that ECMR certificates were banned last year. And so this shows an apparent disconnect in the higher-ups of the police force and the officers on ground. But thank you so much, team. Moving on in our next story. A travel and lifestyle content creator named Angelica Kelechi has gone public with serious allegations against the spa owned by reality TV star Chloe Abiri, popularly known as Coco by Chloe. In a series of posts, Angelica claims that she was sexually assaulted by a male masseur during a session at Chloe's Lagos-based spa, and she's alleging that he inappropriately touched her multiple times. She also says that when she reported the incident, Chloe downplayed it, allegedly responding, "These things happen at a massage." Now, that claim is supported by a recorded phone conversation that the victim later released. Take a short listen.
Keep in mind that it's not my first rodeo going to a spa. I'm a spa connoisseur. I was literally just at the Ritz with my sisters doing a spa. What I thought was supposed to be a surprise for my sister for her birthday became like this before, especially in a country like Nigeria when, women don't always get justice. Well, rarely even get justice. Posting this, I don't even know why I'm even posting this, because I know how Nigerians are. They'll see this video, business owners, they just want clout off of it. Nigerians will just say they don't care and they want to see for themselves. This boy assaulted me. He said that since I didn't react, that he did nothing wrong, which is ridiculous. When we went to report this at the police station, one, they demanded money, and the policeman also said in Yoruba, thinking none of us understood Yoruba, saying that, what is a young girl doing at a spot anyways? They started blaming me, the victim. I mean, what do we expect from 9?
Now, the victim also says that she reported the matter to the police, but was met with a blame and a lot of judgment from the policemen. Chloe responded and said that she issued a statement and said that she is working on investigations. Investigations are happening. The staff member has also been suspended, and he is currently in police custody pending the outcome of the case. As at this morning, an update, she said her and the victim have sorted it out, and that the victim requested that Cocoa by Chloe donate to a charity of her choosing in order to make amends for this. But her initial reaction was scary. This is not the type of camaraderie I expect between women. That young woman should have been met with support instead of judgment. There's no reason why this should happen to a young woman and you should not support her as a business owner. And I thought it was important to shine light on this. Let's take a look at social media. And this is the power of social media, that people can get justice and support when we start to have dialogue. At the Frick Picture says, this is so unprofessional from the massage therapist, especially if she didn't consent by booking for such a treatment. Meanwhile, don't they have hidden cameras inside the massage rooms? I don't know if that's very ethical. Let's take a look at another tweet. At Diola Music says, watch them blame her for not reacting. She was clearly in shock the whole time. I'm glad she had the courage to speak up. That spa needs to be shut down and the boy arrested. As a young woman who goes to spas often, this is very scary. But in a more somber twist in our next story, as Nigeria's economic challenges deepen, more young women are pushed into making difficult and sometimes desperate decisions. A viral video currently making the rounds online has reignited national debate after it allegedly shows a young woman who terminated a 6-month pregnancy out of fear for being a single mother and the cost that comes with such status. In the video they are about to watch, it's very scary to see this young woman hold that 6-month-old child in her hand, and I don't think that it was ethically aborted. This is very scary. The video has, of course, sparked outrage and empathy in equal measure. And this shows the emotional toll of unsupported pregnancies in a country where young motherhood remains both common and heavily stigmatized. According to the 2023/24 Nigeria Demographic and Health Survey, 15% of girls aged 15 to 19 years old have experienced pregnancy, with far higher rates in rural communities and conflict-affected regions. Now, if you're watching this and you know anyone that is struggling with pregnancy right now, pregnancy crisis, as we would call it, there's a helpline that is going to be displayed right now. It should never get to this. That woman could have been harmed, and she's lucky to still be alive. In our final story, in international news, French President Emmanuel Macron has responded to a viral video showing his wife Brigitte pushing his face away as they disembarked from a plane in Vietnam. Speaking to reporters in Hanoi on Monday, Macron confirmed that the footage is real, but he wasn't having any of the wild theories that it sparked online. He added that he had simply been joking with his wife, but the clip shows the plane door opening, him slightly stepping out, and then his wife's hand pushing against his face in what looks like a push or a slap. He looked momentarily caught off guard, but he quickly brushed it off, flashing a wave to the waiting press. When they descended the steps even more funnily, Macron offered his hand to his wife, but she politely declined, opting to hold the railing instead. This moment lands amidst a broader swirl of online disinformation surrounding Macron. Just earlier this month, the Elysée dismissed bizarre claims that he was caught holding a bag of cocaine aboard a train with Germany's Friedrich Merz and UK's Keir Starmer. Now, as political leaders remain prime targets for deepfakes and manipulated videos, it was important. His quick response shows that it's important that we separate fact from fiction. Let's take a look at one tweet. Anybody can chop a slap, honestly, in the current world. At Leonardo Moll says, is this the man who is going to lead the alliance force against Putin? We'll take one more tweet. At Angie says, this is not acceptable for a president to act like that. French people should feel embarrassed to have such a president. Team, I'd love you to weigh in on this. This is not a scandal. This is not a policy issue. This is not any blight on his political career. But do you think this affects how his public perception of him? Should a president be getting pushed around like that?
Yeah, president getting pushed. Well, that happens when you marry your teacher. You know, things like that happen. I respect the man for coming out to say, yeah, it's real, and so on. But saying it's a joke, oh no. She did not accept your hand when you offered it. The single mother thing, it's sad, but it's a story we hear every day. We see it happen all over. I don't know what advice I can give about that, because it's like an epidemic right now. I just hope little girls will realize the consequences of doing what they do, and so on.
All right, for the Cocoa by Chloe story, when I go to a massage parlor, I ask for a masseuse. I don't ask for a masseur. So the first thing was to choose whether a lady or a guy would massage. That was where she made that error. You could, even though it was a birthday gift, you could have decided who should massage you when you got there. And then for Macron, of course, he would not come out and tell you that we were having issues. It's his private issue, but then it was made public. Unfortunately, it seemed the woman wanted to reset his
The
brain.
man's brain.
But anyway, he decided to cover up by saying, okay, I'm the man here, I'm the man here. But whatever it is, I hope they are at peace at home. Sam?
I don't know what it is about Macron's face that keep attracting slaps.
He was slapped a couple of years ago.
The other time he was trying to be happy with the crowd, and then somebody just gave him what they call it,
Hot slap.
a hot slap. How they call it? 40 or how they call it? 40 or so. They gave it to him. Well, but if they have a domestic problem, please let them have their domestic problem in peace. Abi?
What's our business?
Couples fight. I mean, if couples don't fight, they can't be couples. I mean, they must disagree.
Yeah.
They don't disagree over where you put the cup of tea. If you disagree over who is occupying more space in bed than the other one, or who is snoring, there must be one problem. So let them, and if the woman slaps, then let the man receive it.
Quickly.
That's right. Well, you've said it all. But I feel, Veronica, thank you for that, because I thought, some people would differ as to, well, some men don't do it, some masseurs don't do it because they have, water running in their body. As long as you have blood running in your body, you are human, and you are a sexual animal. So it is better for women to not even go beyond the line. There's this constant battle between, among culture, morality, and what is trendy.
Yeah.
So we should think for ourselves. Come on, when you want to go for massage, ask for a woman. If you want a man, if a man is going to do his, let him ask for a man. Why do we have to go to the opposite sex? As if it is water that is running.
But that man owed her duty of care.
Our time is up, unfortunately.
Care from our own husband, not from another man's.
When you want to go for such...
Who says a woman cannot be molested by a woman?
Exactly.
Well,
yes, but at least it's still safer.
It's debatable,
It's still
but our
safer.
time is up. We do not have time to make that debate right now. So thank you, Olamide, for those
You're
stories.
welcome.
This is where we have to wrap things up on the program for today. But let's let you know that the views and reaction of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Up next is your view with the ladies afterwards this morning with Yori Folarin. Stay safe. Bye for now.
They don't slap me.